What up, Bulls Nation? We've got a 2025 NBA Draft Lottery live edition of CHGO Bulls coming up right around the corner. We're about to find out where the Bulls will pick this year. 12th? Or will they get lucky? We'll talk about it next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to the CHGO Bulls podcast. Coming to you live from our studios here at CHGO.
Let's go!
CHGO headquarters.
Let's go!
West Loop, downtown Chicago. It is NBA Draft Lottery night, y'all. I'm Peck Bulls _Peck. That's Big Day. Bam! BAWL Sports.
Let's go!
Back in the building, four-time NBA champ, Uncle Will _Perdue 32.
He grown.
Katie Debbie, the queen of the controls. What up, Katie?
Did you just forget my name? What
No.
just happened?
No, he did not.
Just called a dramatic pause.
Oh, I was about to say that. I was just about to say that, too.
Our guy, Willie Gottlieb, is present at the NBA Draft Lottery taking place in McCormick Center here downtown Chicago. He'll join us after we know the results.
Yeah.
The half-hour televised special has
Yeah.
begun.
Look
We
at
are
it.
about to find out.
Look at the statue. There it is.
Shout out everybody hanging out with us, watching on YouTube, hanging out in the comments. Throw us a like, throw us a super chat if you're feeling generous tonight. Throw us a super chat for good luck. There we see a couple of the Duke prospects projected to go
that's
top
what it
10.
is.
Con
That's what it
Knipple,
is. Yes.
come on, Malawach.
Not a tie among them.
We got Zion representing the Pels.
Yeah.
Dylan Harper projected to go second overall.
Zion look like he in sales. What is that? What is he doing, dog? You know what I mean? Come on, man.
He's not just a bucket getter, he's a businessman.
That's
Dave.
right. Love to tell you about this new offer, guys. I am excited for this. I'm always excited for the draft. Obviously, I'm excited because I want the Bulls. This is all the hope and luck that I have in my soul is going towards the Chicago Bulls right now. But this is just an exciting time, Will. Like, I love the draft. Just the idea of a team can move up that we're not expecting. We already know who's number one. I'm just excited to see who's going to walk away with Cooper Flagg, and obviously excited to see if it's the Chicago Bulls that do it.
You know what the draft brings the fans of Chicago? That four-letter word.
Hope.
Bingo!
There it is. There it is.
1.7% worth of hope.
That's right.
Yeah,
Or
but
if you don't want to get greedy and
8%
picky,
chance
8%.
of getting in the top four.
Yeah.
And that would be game-changing.
Oh, my gosh, yes. Absolutely game-changing for this
I mean,
franchise.
it'd be awesome, and I think we all will agree that guy right there is a generational talent.
He is.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing. Will he have an impact? Yeah.
Mhm.
What you don't know is, especially with guys of that size, is how quickly they can adapt to the strength and the speed of the game.
Okay,
I'm not saying he can't do it.
sure.
I'm saying he can do it. Question is it in one season? Is it a season and a half? Is it 2 seasons? Because let's be very clear here. All right? This is a guy, when he comes in, the expectations are already through the roof.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about being able to play good enough to meet those expectations, not just play well, but play well enough to beat those expectations.
I think those expectations are fair considering what we've seen from him already as a young prospect. I mean, he reclassified to enter and play his one-and-done season at Duke a year earlier. He's 17. He played most of his freshman year at Duke as a 17-year-old and still was one of the best players in college basketball
Facts.
for a full season.
Facts.
So there is a reason that much excitement exists for the rights to the number one pick and drafting Cooper Flagg tonight. Obviously, some other exciting names. We mentioned Dylan Harper, who you just saw on the broadcast. His Rutgers teammate Ace Bailey projected to go top 5 as well. VJ Edgecombe and a handful of other exciting names. And maybe even if the Bulls do stay at 12, which we will find out here very shortly, there still then becomes a question of, okay, who falls?
Yeah.
Which talent that could help the Bulls? We talked about some of the bigs, whether it be Queen or Malawach, who could maybe fall into their laps at 12.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Will
What's up,
Perdue,
Purdue?
four-time champion?
Ooh. So there just happens to be a guy
What?
on the Golden State Warriors that's fallen out of favor.
Oh, you talking about Mr. Kuminga?
That just had a career high in the playoffs.
Bazinga.
Kuminga Bazinga?
Kuminga Bazinga.
Do you think that Golden State would take the 12th pick for him? And some change?
I don't know. I mean, I think they would take anything for him. I think it's pretty clear that he is not convincing any mind, changing any minds.
First of all, it would be a sign and trade.
Yeah.
Because is he unrestricted or is he restricted?
Kuminga, I think he is going to be restricted. I can double check that real quick.
So what's the rule? Can you pick up his option? Because that means it's a team option. Can you pick up his option and then trade him?
You can. Well, but they are out of team options. He is going to be a restricted free agent.
Yeah.
This was the final year of his.
So this was year 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
So they exercised the club option each of the last 2 years, but he is a restricted free agent. I still think that means they can sign and trade him if they want. They can sign him to a new deal.
Yep.
And then swap him and send him to another team.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were the Golden State Warriors, would you find the 12th pick attractive?
I mean, in this draft class, it would depend. If we're talking about like a in the moment on the clock draft night trade, maybe if a certain player is still on the board that if I'm the Warriors, I really want.
If I'm the Warrior, I say yeah. I'm excited about the 12th pick, just because just being able to move up to get to that level to get something to enhance what they have.
Right.
And they might be lacking a big guy, and I think at 12, you can find you a center that you can develop. Like that's a team who you can take their time with a center and a big man who they can develop and, turn into that. So I think a guy like Derek Queen would be a perfect fit because you'll be under that tutelage of a Draymond Green, with that similar kind of style. But obviously Queen has better skill set and tools.
You said big man.
Yeah.
Don't we have a big man that's technically available and under contract that would probably be right around the same?
What, are you talking about Vooch?
Yes.
You mean the one
There was some speculation of Warriors' interest from Vooch.
Yeah.
And then they went and got Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
So maybe they revisited
but they didn't get a big man.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
And they have been
again,
throwing the Rook, Quentin Post, into a lot of high-stakes scenarios.
The reason why I keep going down this street is because if they don't get a top 4, I don't think there's anybody after 4 that is better than Kuminga right now.
I think I would agree with that statement, yeah.
So that's why I'm like, let's go get this guy.
Okay.
Because Golden State has basically already said he's fallen out of favor, never really gave a good answer. But I would imagine that if you make a little phone call and be like, hey, tell him we'll do 4 years, 80. That pretty much is identical to the 2 years that Vooch has left, 2020. It's a straight up trade. Bingo. I would celebrate if they could do something of that nature because now that's not, a lottery pick. It's not a top 5 guy. We know what the stats say about you look at the playoffs, who's having the biggest impact, blah, 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 blah. But that gets us in the right direction, in my opinion, as far as answers some needs that on day one.
You know who might agree with you in the right direction if you're talking about targeting Kuminga in an offseason trade, maybe a draft night trade, which a lot of Bulls fans are talking about. He fits into a very specific criteria that AK is looking for. He's young, and he has NBA experience. He checks the only 2 boxes that exist.
Young
with experience.
Yeah.
That's the AK mantra.
That's it. No matter your position, baby.
Shout out to our guy, Kalen Cox, who threw us a super chat
Amen.
on YouTube saying, hope everybody rubbed the goat's belly for good luck before he left for the lottery. We need to try anything right now.
Oh, man.
For a second, I thought he was talking about the Jordan statue. Like, after you see that go,
too.
like, rub that belly.
That too.
That'd be way less weird than what he actually
Then rubbing
meant.
Will Gottlieb's belly? That's a little more weird.
Gottlieb ain't letting nobody rub his belly.
No.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. That's very fair.
So here we see there's a countdown on this broadcast for the lottery. Reveal will begin in just over 8 minutes. Let's quickly cover our bases, just remind everybody what the deal is tonight and how it'll go down. Kate, if you have the odds and want to throw them up there, the Bulls are 12th in this order with a 1.7% chance at the number 1 overall pick, an 8% chance of jumping into the top 4. As far as how they reveal it, obviously they start at the back and work their way up to number 1. Atlanta is positioned at 14th and owe their pick to San Antonio. Sacramento is positioned 13th and owe their pick to Atlanta.
So that's why he's there.
He's Zion's the representative.
Yeah.
Yes, on the
Who
stage.
did the Bulls send? Have we?
Modest. Modest is our rep.
Okay.
There is a. Oh, look at that dashingly
Speaking of
handsome
Modest.
young man, Cooper Flagg.
Put him with Modest? Oh.
Fun times ahead if that occurs and goes down, man.
Guys, I've heard from some people we don't need Cooper Flagg because we already have him. His name is Modest Bucelis.
Which is why I said, see, speaking of Modest. There you go, right there.
So we, if you remember, got fooled a year ago, a couple years ago.
2 years ago.
Because when the Bulls have owed picks to Orlando, and we were like, okay, we don't want to see the Bulls logo come up here because it means, it's transfer. And then it was Orlando's logo.
Yeah.
We got all confused.
And then the fine print.
I think what we're going to see is if things go according to plan and neither Atlanta or Sacramento jump, you're going to see a picture of the Spurs logo with Via Atlanta underneath it.
Yeah.
And then a picture of the Atlanta logo with Via Sacramento underneath it. Mm-hmm. Essentially, when they get to the 12th pick, what we want to see is the Dallas Mavericks logo come up at 12. That will mean that the Bulls have jumped up somewhere into that top 4. If we see the Bulls logo at 14 or 13, disaster.
Disaster occurs.
If we see the Bulls logo at 12th, that is what is 85% likely to happen. So, not
Pretty
disaster,
hot.
but
Yeah.
where they should be, where they should end up.
Yeah.
Because of probability and statistics.
Yeah.
But if it's chalk at 14 and 13, and then the Mavs logo at 12, we all get to go bananas.
Yeah. We'll lose it. We'll go crazy. And y'all might get to see Happy Peck. Y'all have never seen
But
Happy
here's the
Peck.
thing. He's already shaved his. You know what you should have done
What's that?
is waited till today, and then if they got one of those top 4 picks, shaved your mustache on the show.
No, for his mental health, he needed to shave that the day it was over.
This is correct.
I watched this dude break twice.
The stash,
in a season.
the stash going away is the official. The Bull season is over.
Yeah, man.
Exhale moment.
Yeah, man. You should have saw him the next day.
My lip and my mind have been free for almost a month now.
Should have saw him the next day. Will.
What was it, April 16th when they lost the play-in tournament game?
Yeah, I believe so.
I've almost had a full month of mental health back, Will. If that stash were still on my face, my brain would still be trapped.
Yeah. It wouldn't be good for
but
anyone.
here's my question for you then. Do you have one foot in the grave and one on a banana peel right now waiting for the reveal?
I am fully preparing myself for them to be at 12. I also think it might happen and would be hilarious if one of the teams at 13 or 14 jumps up into the top 4 and the Bulls fall back a spot. It would be so Bulls.
It would.
Obviously, I would be
so
thrilled.
where's your cooler of beverages?
Well, I got myself an ice cold beer right here.
Yeah, but that's one.
You don't know how many he's had.
There's more
leading up to this.
This is my first drink today.
What?
I know. Because I'm not stressed.
This is a new Peck.
I'm not stressed.
That's true.
They're probably gonna say 12.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I in that scenario will get to sit here and say, oh man, I'm better. Wonder if the Bulls had a few more losses down the stretch of this season. What would have happened?
How you doing? It's gonna happen.
And if they jump up, that's the other thing I've seen a lot. Like, dude, if the Bulls jump up into the top 4, maybe even get the number 1 pick from 12, boy, are the pro tankers going to be miserable. And I'm like, no, it still won't change what math is and how it works.
Okay,
I still think it was in the Bulls' best interest to lose more games than they did this season.
True indeed.
Even if they are about to get lucky.
Yeah.
If they aren't about to get lucky, I'll be sitting here saying, yeah, they should have lost more games.
That's a pretty good idea. I like
What's that, go?
How about a last-minute tankathon spin?
Well, I don't know if we want to jinx it because we did a tankathon spin at the end of our Friday show.
We did.
And it was the first time all week we did one at the end of every show last week. And we jumped up to number 1 on our Friday episode.
I have that video.
We're going to keep those vibes coming into this.
I have the video. Do you want to watch it?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, let's watch it. Here we go.
We can remind those who missed our show on Friday what happened.
We've been 12 like all week.
Yeah, we have not jumped up
we
yet.
have not jumped
We might
up.
even get 2 spins today
time's
because
the
it's
charm?
our last chance. We might even. Who knows?
Okay.
All right.
It's possible that
Sounds like
we
Goats
might even
Advocate.
get
Coach
2.
advocate. Yes.
Will. All right, I'm resetting.
Reset
it,
button.
please.
Come
Here we
on,
go.
baby. Juice.
Oh my God! Oh my!
Did
We don't
we
need
just
to.
speak into
We
existence?
just did it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun on Friday. All right, so they're introducing all of the representatives for all of the teams. We just got to look at young Miles Buzelis, whose goatee is starting to grow back. I'm not sure if I love that.
Got the tie on, too.
Let's knock out a couple of ads before we start unveiling these
Hold on a
picks.
second. Katie, does that mean you don't like the goatee?
She is not a fan.
I am not a fan.
She's on record for all the season long not being a fan.
Not a fan.
Okay.
Not a fan. All right, let's knock out a couple ads real quick. Then we'll come back and we will dive into the lottery being revealed. Hit that like button if you're hanging out with us on Twitter, on YouTube. Today's show brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment is never ordinary at Bet365. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet your first $5. Win or lose that bet, doesn't matter. You're getting the $150 either way. Just remember that promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. And for all of you out there watching these very entertaining NBA playoff series, with the Bet365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes up by 20 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So again, download that app and be sure to use promo code CHGO365. The great news with those bonus bets, all $150 worth, is you can use them on practically everything. Spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and older if you or someone you know has a gambling problem. Crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only.
Rate.com, y'all. If you ever tried to buy a home, get a loan, or just deal with money stuff in general, you know it can be a lot. That's why we get to tell you about the Rate app, and it's seriously a game changer. You can get pre-approved for a mortgage in minutes without the need to jump through a million hoops. And if you're thinking about a home equity loan or a personal loan, you can secure it in under 15 days. The Rate app also helps you find the best homeowners and auto insurance based on what you actually need, y'all. And something unexpected, they have over 800 free wellness videos. So if you're stressed out about the loan or the mortgage, just go ahead and get the Rate app and let them handle it. It's the one app that helps you with both your wallet and your well-being. It's the Rate app. Download it today.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum at the podium. Okay, Spurs
Dun, dun, dun.
at 14.
There it is.
That is chalk.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta to San Antonio. 13.
Mm-hmm.
Please not the Bulls. Atlanta via Sacramento. Okay, come on now.
Here we go.
Here's pick 12.
Go.
Beat Dallas. Beat Dallas. Beat Dallas. Come on now. Come on now. Oh! Hey! We're number 12. We're number 12. We're number 12.
Robot.
Integrity. Integrity, guys. That's what matters.
Portland.
Integrity.
That means Dallas has jumped up.
That means Dallas has jumped into the top 4.
Dallas has jumped into the top
You know what? You know
4.
who deserves it more than Bulls fans? Mavs fans.
Mavs fan.
They've had a tough year.
They
Wow.
1.7% chance for the Bulls and 1.8% chance.
And guys, the Bulls lost the coin flip to Dallas to be positioned 12th instead of 11th.
They absolutely did.
Oh, Nelly. Uh-oh. Here we go. Uh-oh.
You can't make it out. You can't make it out.
Somebody dial 911.
My God. If
It's going to
they
be
had
some furniture moving.
one fewer game and
All
just
right.
had 38 wins to Dallas's 39.
Oh, man. So, look,
Oh, my
Brooklyn
God.
up at 8. Pelicans at 7. That means the
at
Sixers are going to be
7.
in the top 6. Okay.
Wow. So the Pelicans fell from 4th to 7th?
Wow.
Whew.
The Wizards at 6.
Washington has fallen from 2nd
Dude, the
to
Sixers in the
6th.
top 5.
Oh,
So the
Nelly.
Sixers keep their pick.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
God.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
And yet,
But believable.
totally believable.
Absolutely believable.
The 5th pick, the
Go!
Utah Jazz, top 4, fall from the top 3 to 5.
Wow.
That means Philly has jumped into the top 4, as well as the Dallas Mavericks.
So that's
my
who's
goodness.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Are you
2
kidding
East,
me?
2 West.
Oh.
Dude,
Wow.
if the Spurs get Cooper Flagg on top of Wemby, I quit.
Oh,
Cancel
man.
the NBA if that happens.
Cancel.
It's done.
Fully
oh, my
cancel.
gosh, dog.
Yeah,
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
But here's the thing, though. How cool would that be for him, Cooper Flagg, to actually go to a good team?
It would be great.
Great for him.
Great for him, great for the
Yeah.
league.
Great.
Playing next to
Great
Wemby
for his brain and his mind, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. Life.
God.
or Joel Embiid?
Oh. God.
Wow.
So of those 4 teams, is it just the Hornets that you think he shouldn't go to? Is
Oh,
that the
yeah.
only one?
Well,
I think he's going to become a professional golfer if the Hornets get the number 1 pick.
no, at the end of the day, we need him to go west.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I don't want to see no parts of him, dog, at all.
So who's left in the East? Is it just Charlotte?
No, it's Charlotte and Philly.
Oh,
Dude.
Will Perdue. Oh, no.
Dude, honestly, even if Joel Embiid is broken and never fully healthy again,
Yeah.
and Paul George, whatever happened,
Yeah.
even, dude, Maxey McCain and Cooper Flagg,
Yeah, bro.
that's
And
a pretty intimidating trio in Philly all of a sudden.
Dude, that is a real interesting trio that they got, man. Because we saw that young man, Maxey, dude, just absolutely losing
and
his
then
mind.
you basically throw Embiid in every 5th game.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
You know, for those important ones.
Oh, man.
Save him for the playoffs, baby.
Save him for the play.
I cannot believe that the Bulls lost a coin flip to the Mavs,
Yes,
and
you
the
can.
Mavs jumped up.
Yes, you can
It
believe
is so Bulls.
This is so
It is
Bulls.
so Bulls.
Integrity,
Congrats on all that integrity, AK.
Integrity.
Unbelievable. It's. I mean, this was what was 85% odds.
Yeah.
That they stayed at 12. That's
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
But boy, wasn't it fun to talk for a week about 1.7? Remember 1.7? Remember Derrick Rose? Yeah. What were the odds of that happening again?
Yeah, but you know what you can find at 12?
I don't know, some mediocre young talent who's raw and doesn't get developed properly by this joke of an organization.
But somebody that can fit into a 10-man rotation.
That's true.
9 to 10.
That's
man
true.
rotation.
Well, he has to be a good player. You got to be 9 to 10 good players. We got standards.
Oh,
Got to be
God.
9 to 10.
Yeah, I mean, now the conversation shifts to, as we were talking about a little bit at the beginning, who falls? Who falls at 12? Will the Bulls get a little bit lucky the way they did with Modest,
Yeah.
who right now, if you redrafted the class of 24, goes higher than pick 11?
Yeah, safe to say. Very safe assumption he'll be up in that top 3, top 2.
All right, so let's
sure.
just, as our fans that are watching, just just call me Mr. Obvious. I'm okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Obvious.
But I think that we now see that tanking works.
There it is.
I've heard from many loud people on the internet, Will, that tanking doesn't work. And those people will point right now to the Utah Jazz, who are one of the teams with the 14 percentage points for a number 1 pick, most you can have.
And then you will
And fell
reverse
to fifth.
point to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Right.
The reverse point to the Charlotte Hornets as well.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So you got 2
So
teams
basically you're
that
saying
tanked on purpose in the top 4.
They did.
You also, even if you're like, well, tanking doesn't work, look at the Jazz are still getting the 5th pick
That's
as
not
opposed to the 12th pick.
But hold on a second. So basically, just for all those analytical people, if you want to point at those teams, you're basically saying if you tank, you got a 500% chance of getting in the top 4. Is that correct?
Wait, a 500? Wait. Oh, you mean like 50-50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 2 didn't get in it,
Right.
but
Man's
2
brain
did.
broke for a second.
Correct. But that still means if you're one of those tanking teams that secures one of the most one of the highest odds at the number overall pick, and you don't win, you're still picking 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Like,
And in this draft this year,
yeah.
that
So,
might be
like,
the equivalent of a number 1 pick in other drafts.
It's a matter of preference, and I see our pal Braggs hanging out in the chat. He threw a super chat saying
Braggs.
maybe Purdue was right. You should have lost that game to the Lakers. Like, you hit that buzzer beater. Hey, if the Bulls were slotted 11th right now instead of 12th, with 1 fewer win than the Mavs, we'd be talking about them right now being 4th, 3rd, 2nd, or 1st, and
is
about
true.
to find out which one.
And also a coin flip. Don't forget the coin flip.
Yeah.
I just hope for-
because they ended up with the same
Yes,
record,
correct,
then it went
correct.
to coin flip, and they
But you
lost
lost that too.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Dude, if the Sixers or the Spurs get Cooper Flagg, I seriously, I quit.
I see Sixers can walk away with this.
There's
Really
Elton
good.
Brand.
Look at Daryl Morey, former
He's like, yeah.
former number 1 overall pick for the Chicago Bulls, Elton Brand, hanging out.
Yep.
Shout out
Cooper
Orlando
Flagg
Blackman.
literally right now is just like, please not Charlotte, please not Charlotte.
Shout out Orlando Blackman, man.
Legend.
Legendary player.
People don't know how good that guy
Oh,
was.
he was awesome. Awesome player.
Hmm.
For them and the Knicks.
I wonder
Really
if
solid role
they
player for the Knicks,
asked
too.
Dirk to be their rep, and
know
he
what?
said no.
Listen, and this is the minute you say this, no disrespect, but you know what Orlando Blackman is? He's our boy at OKC on steroids.
Charlotte falls to 4.
I think
Wow.
we just
SGA?
huh?
It's on the SGA?
No,
Cooper Flagg is thrilled.
came from Chicago.
Oh, Caruso.
Oh,
Sixers
Sixers
get the
are
number
3.
3 pick.
Matt can stay.
Oh my god,
That's
Oh my God.
Dallas and San Antonio.
dude! If it's the Mavs, it's rigged.
Oh!
It's so rigged. It's so
Oh
rigged.
my God!
Rigged.
Oh my God!
Rigged.
Yo, man.
Yo.
Listen to
Dude,
me.
call the police right freaking now. No way that they just gave the
Listen to
Mavericks
me.
Cooper Flagg.
Listen to me.
Wow.
Earlier today, I texted my main man, John Sabine,
What up, Sabine?
and I said to him, dude, if the miracle happens and you all end up with the number 1
God.
pick, would
God.
you take that number 1 pick and trade it to the Lakers to get Luka back?
Guys.
Would you do this?
Guys.
He was like, 100% I would do this. I would trade anyone but my son
But here,
to get Luka
but
back.
here's look.
The miracle has happened.
The
The
difference
miracle
between
has happened.
1.7 and 1.8.
Do you guys
1.7.
realize if we had won a coin flip a
Coin
few weeks
flip.
ago, the Bulls would have just gotten Cooper Flagg?
Oh.
If the Bulls didn't win on that miraculous Josh Giddey half-court heave that meant nothing,
He's going.
the Bulls would have Cooper Flagg right now.
He's losing it.
But gee, those March wins were fun. Gee, they were swell. Integrity. I can't believe what we just watched. I mean, I so can. It's so Bulls.
Oh, yeah. It's
Y'all
normal.
suck at everything.
Hey,
I'm happy
where's
for
the little
the
guy
Mavericks
with the
fans.
grinder?
I am genuinely happy for Mavericks fans right now. But this, like, if you're a Bulls fan,
And the monkey
this
comes
is
out and steals
the
your
worst
wallet.
possible scenario. This is all of the ways in which the lottery could go the worst for the Bulls.
You know who it went the worst for?
Us.
AK.
AK, yeah. Hey, shout out Orlando Blackman also for holding on to the high top. Shout out to him for that.
Well,
man.
hey, although AK does already have a win in his pocket,
Okay.
the next time he speaks to the media, which won't be until draft night, had they not made that Zach LaVine trade
Dude.
with the specifics of what they got, they would be about to hand their pick away right now
Yeah.
to the San Antonio
This
Spurs.
is very true.
Because it falls outside the top 10.
And here you go.
So we protected our pick while still also going for the play-in tournament again.
Yeah.
AK achieved both of the goals he set for himself.
That's it.
A double plus.
So I got the C- from you, Pat. Oh, my God. Well, one
Dude.
good thing, he's not in the East. That's the one good thing about this is I don't have to look at this 4 times a year.
Twice a year, baby.
But
That's
2
it.
times a year is all I get.
God, dude.
But damn. That's, hey, man, they set it up this way for the Bulls, and you got what you deserved out of it.
This is hilarious.
You got your play-in game. You got there with the Miami Heat. You got toasted. You got beat down. And now you're walking away with
I
the
think we're
12th
now
pick
going to
in the
have to
draft.
sign. We're going to have to get an accounting firm to keep an eye on the original accounting firm.
Rig. I like that immediately.
Dude.
Rig.
I mean, this is a little suspicious.
I have never
little
believed
fishes.
in the NBA lottery is rigged conspiracy
Now,
until right when I saw
okay.
that Spurs logo flip into.
You don't believe the year that the envelope was frozen for the New York Knicks?
No. No.
No, not that one.
Not that one. Right, right,
yeah,
right.
no,
Get
Never
that.
believed
No,
it
not
until
that
now.
one. Yeah.
No. Look over here.
People,
Look over here.
People did cry rigged. Like everyone other than Bulls fans cried rigged when they
Yeah.
won in 2008
This
with
is
a
true.
1.7% chance of winning.
This is true.
I mean,
12.
the NBA lost an entire fan base this season. Like
12.
literally, like Mavericks fans were just like, we're done.
That's true. And he said, whoa.
Yeah.
I got this. Let me get this
It's
together.
okay, guys, because we're gonna draft Yakachonis, and he's gonna be great.
I don't think he'll be there at 12, but I get your anger right now, sir. I understand where you're coming from. Oh, man. That is tough. That's tough, ladies and gentlemen. But that's the Chicago Bulls, and that's how it's been. That's how it's been for them so far. You played yourself into what they really wanted. It's what they wanted. Here they are, and they got it.
Oh,
We're going to take
I'm gonna need so
We're
many
gonna
deep
need a
breaths.
Take a deep breath, Matt. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a break.
Let's
When we
need
come
some
back,
ads.
we'll see if Matt will be okay. But we got some ads for you.
Is this
Hit
next break sponsored by an alcohol?
like
I need to do a couple shots here.
button.
Katie said hit the like button, too.
Hit the like button.
Ooh, she said it twice.
She's getting angry.
Oh, she's getting pegged.
The good news is we got options, Purdue, because this honestly might help me more than some alcohol when I go home after this and
fair.
cry in the shower.
You're going to need about 50 milligrams of that.
Sunny side. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. Place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. They've got everything you need to elevate your summer. One-stop shop for all of your cannabis needs. Sunnyside has an expertly curated menu with over 100 different strains to choose from. Plus, they offer easy online ordering and in-store pickup with locations in the city, Wrigleyville and River North, throughout all of the suburbs, even as far south as Champaign, all the way up there in South Beloit. If you're even an expert and think, I got what I need, they have you covered with over 100 different strains to choose from on their menu, with new strains being added on a daily basis. Check out the Wellness Advisors Staff Picks collection if you're looking for something new. They know you'll love Cresco, Floracal, and those Good News and Mindy's brands. Visit Sunnyside.shop for Bright Buys every day, including getting 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Just enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, Bright Buys every day, only for 21 and older, and Illinois Med card holders.
Oh, Empire today!
Hey, hold on one second.
Floors.
I know you got to read that ad.
Why you just stopping me in the middle of this?
But I'm going to make a prediction. He's still going to be suffering from Sunnyside tomorrow, so he may not be here.
Suffering or enjoying?
I don't know where I am, but I'm having a good time.
Oh, man. Just like your favorite team needs a home court advantage, your home team needs a home floor advantage. And Empire Today can help you get it, because Empire Today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. Now, you know you've been to them big box stores. We know you have. You don't like it because you walk around and you find this stuff. You're like, ooh, that's some good food. Ooh, I can get some plumbing done and stuff. But then you look at the floors and you say, I want to get my floors taken care of. And as soon as you step in that department, you see somebody peeking from behind. And who's that person peeking from behind? Hey, everybody, I'm here to help. It's Biff. Oh, no. He don't know what he's doing. Why is he there? He's a young child. Help him out. You got questions for him? He don't have answers. Why? Because he knows nothing about flooring. Don't get biffed. Stay at home. Empire Today. Shop at home convenience, y'all. They live and breathe flooring, and they will be with you every step of the way. It's a whole different ballgame. Pick the right flooring and the right color for your space. See how it looks with your furniture in your house. Get precise measurements taken and have all your questions answered, so there will be no surprises, ladies and gentlemen. With Empire Today, you get that clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule that installation as soon as the next day. Schedule a free in-the-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. CHGO listeners can receive a $350 discount when using that promo code CHGO. Yes! You heard me right.
Ooh.
A $350 discount with that code CHGO Will Perdue. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday.com/shop CHGO for full details. 588-2300. Will Perdue!
Empire. And I need to call them, by the way.
Today.
You're going to hook me
right.
up. Big Dave said he's going to hook me
I
up.
was hooking you up. Give him a call. They say they're literally waiting on your call. The guy, he said, when's Will calling?
Let's call on the show.
He said he's waiting for it. He's ready. He said he's waiting on your call, Will. That's what I was told.
Maybe we'll get his opinion on the Mavs getting the first pick.
Shout out to Ramon in the comments who says, 1:30 a.m. here in Spain. I am devastated. We don't deserve this frowny face.
Yeah.
Eco Bean, I'm floored. The Bulls lost the coin flip to the Mavs and they end up with the first draft pick. # speechless. But, I mean, couldn't you also just... It's so Bulls.
It is Bulls, man.
It's so Bulls.
It's so Bulls. You get what you deserve sometimes out here in this life. And the Bulls are getting what they kind of deserve.
I love that there's just still a tanking works versus tanking doesn't work debate raging in the comments right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Some things are true. Multiple things are true. Charlotte, Utah, Washington, the 3 teams that finished with the 3 worst records and all had 14% odds at Cooper Flagg, fell to 4th, 5th, and 6th, respectively. Mm-hmm. That hurts after a 19, 17, and 18 win season, respectively. But you know who tanks down the stretch? Philly.
Yep.
They're keeping their pick, and it's 4th. You know who kind of packed things in once Wemby got hurt?
Who that?
The Spurs.
Uh-huh.
They're 2nd.
Uh-huh.
And also Charlotte, Utah, Washington, 4, 5, 6. You know what those numbers are all higher than considerably? 12.
12. Yeah. Remember Mark Stein just put out his report, was wondering who's got it worse,
Yeah.
And he was talking about the teams and
Mavs and Sixers officially
and,
deleted off that list.
Get it out of there. And I loved your answer to it. It's like, talk to me after the lottery. Well,
that was between us and Phoenix.
Yeah, man.
Who's got it the worst?
Who's got it the worst in all city? I'm going to say us.
Well, I'll say Phoenix has got it worse
Talk to me.
because
We don't have Bradley Beal with a no trade clause.
and you know who's not
Yes.
gonna you know who's not gonna be in Phoenix next year.
KD?
That's
KD,
correct.
he is out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's a gunner. Devin Booker.
All right, now why we have this opportunity?
Okay.
That's what it is. It's an opportunity. It's not a devastating blow. It's an opportunity.
That's right. It's
Well,
opportunity for
it
someone to
depends on how
rise.
you look at it. Okay, we obviously have the disappointment now knowing that the team we lost the coin flip to won the lottery.
Yes.
Okay, so we can have this argument about it works, it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but at the end of the day, the facts are the Bulls won too many games.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You can't argue that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We can have this discussion about integrity, which there is some truth to that.
Sure,
Okay. I'm an old
sure.
school guy. I understand that.
Sure.
But I have certain things that have happened in life that I use as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And ironically, since we brought up KD, he's one of them.
Okay.
Okay. Who ripped other players in the league for going to different teams?
KD.
KD. Stick with your team, win a championship for your organization, blah, blah, blah. But then all of a sudden when he realized, if I stay in OKC, I ain't winning.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? I'm going somewhere where I can win.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does he win, he's the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the same time, you can shout out to Steph for making a huge sacrifice, but also understanding the bigger picture. Okay? But you either have to go your own course, which you should be responsible for, and if it doesn't work out, be held accountable for, or when you're getting beat by other people because of what they do or don't do in this case, you need to start looking at, and it's an odds game, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a baseball manager, right? Okay, bottom of the ninth, I need a DH. That guy's batting 185. That guy's batting 295. That guy's batting 405. Who am I putting in the game?
185?
You know, I got a gut feeling the guy that's batting 185's due.
Integrity. I love the way he ran out those ground outs, Will.
It's like Lou Brown when he goes to Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn at the end of Major League.
Yeah.
I know he hasn't done a great job against this guy, but I got a hunch he's due. Thanks, Emma.
Throw the hater, Ricky. but that's the thing.
man.
I get it, but we can have this argument for days. But I think this draft, and let's use a different word. Let's not use the word tank.
Okay. What words you like?
Let's use resting our best players.
Okay. It's a phrase.
But at the end of the day, this, in my opinion, and opinions are like, you know what, they all stink.
Correct.
But does this draft not tell you that tanking works more times than it doesn't? Does it? Are there times that it doesn't work? Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
But I'm talking about all the teams you just mentioned that have better picks than the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
How many of them technically rested their best players, or I don't want to use tank, compromised their integrity, whatever?
There were several examples down the stretch, whether it be Philly, Brooklyn, Toronto, when the Bulls were playing those teams a bunch, late February, March, April. Oh, how convenient for the Bulls. They're sitting some of their key guys tonight because they're injured. Bulls got the win.
Yeah.
Bulls got the win. The fake hype train builds for Bulls fans who wanted them to go to the play-in tournament. And like, hey, we got a shot against Cleveland in round one. We just got to win a couple of play-in games.
Oh, I remember
I was
that.
sitting here saying, y'all are freaking nuts. But
Out of your minds.
yes, those other teams the Bulls faced and beat in their incredible stretch where they won 15 of their last 20 games, we're thinking about the lottery and not about late season wins.
Can I just since you brought it up?
Sure.
Okay.
What was that face?
Well, I get what those people were saying, but who beat the Bulls in the play-in game?
Miami.
By how many?
A considerable margin.
Many to a few. As
Okay. And then by how many did Cleveland beat Miami on a regular basis throughout that 4-game
average
series?
margin of victory of 38,000.
Dude. And you know what? I want to bring up something you just said real quick. Integrity. We talked about the integrity of the team. This is how we got to play. And people don't like tanking because, you know, it messes with the integrity. What team has more integrity than the San Antonio Spurs? If it's good enough for them, it should be good enough for you. Nobody has more integrity than this team, this organization. Will Perdue can attest to this.
That is true.
Nobody has more integrity than them. If they find it a valuable tool to use to get better, then you should find it a valuable tool to use and get better.
But you just hit it right on the head. A valuable tool. Okay? Now, I'm going to go rogue here.
Uh-oh. Rogue Perdue.
And I'm going to tell you something that I learned in NASCAR.
Oh,
Okay?
flex.
Those guys use the term pushing the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when you push the envelope? You occasionally get caught. You occasionally cross the line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And for those of you that are NASCAR fans, you see that, well, somebody went through inspection and got caught, so now they got to start at the back of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, and here's the thing. It's not like when you see those teams that got caught, they're not like the have-nots. They're the top teams in NASCAR that are pushing the envelope. Okay? Because that's how important winning is to them. You know why it's important? Because if you win, you know what you get? Sponsors. You know what sponsors get you?
Money?
Money. Paper.
Yeah. That's why we were all hoping that.
And you know who, yeah. But okay,
would have been a hell of a lot better for business.
Let's take it full circle. You know who's pushing the envelope in NASCAR? 2311. You know who owns that team?
Michael Jeffrey Jordan?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know why he's there?
To win.
But you also know why he's there? Because he's realized he can make money in NASCAR.
Yes, correct.
But he has to win in order to make money.
That part, Will Perdue.
Take money to make money.
Take money, scared money makes
I have
none.
heard on our side threads, Katie, that we have a little clip here of our friends over at DLLS Mavs
We do. You ready?
reacting to the picks unfold.
Matt
Let's
Peck
take a
really
look
wanna
at what
see
happy
this?
people look like.
Let's
The
go.
Philadelphia
Top 2.
76ers.
San Antonio does not
Oh my
deserve this. I'm
gosh.
going on record.
The Sixers are number 3.
All right.
Number 2.
The second pick.
Oh my God!
That's unreal.
They did it!
That's unreal.
They did it!
That is so
They did
unreal.
it! Oh my
It's
God!
unreal.
Oh my God! We did it! Oh my God!
1.8. More like
Cooper Flagg
108.
Mavericks have won the NBA draft lottery.
Get ready to learn Whataburger, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
I did not hear a single one of them use the word rigged just now. What the hell? Clearly rigged.
Shout out to my man Kevin Gray, yo.
Hey,
Oh,
you're not
man.
the only one who thinks that it's rigged. LeBron just tweeted this like 10 minutes ago. And if that doesn't tell you what he thinks, I don't know what does.
Wow, yeah, just a bar of cry laughing emojis. Yeah, the subtext there could be this is clearly all rigged. But again, a coin flip.
A coin flip.
Coin flip was involved. And so maybe after the coin flip, then they're like, okay, 11th. We need the team slotted 11th, a.k.a. the Mavs, to get that winning combination of ping pong balls.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can rig it because when you describe the exact process, it is very complex.
Very.
So there's
Very
14
complex.
lottery teams, right? There's 14 ping pong balls, numbered 1 through 14. They pull 4 of them randomly
Yes.
in, order. And then, so it's a sequence of 4 numbers,
Yes.
1 through 14.
Correct.
With 1,001 different possible combinations of those four of those 14 numbers in various sequences.
Correct.
How do you rig that?
You could say, hey, man, step outside for a second.
That's why they let media in there, they let team representatives and personnel in there, and they like trap everyone's phones.
I get it.
In one of those,
Yeah. They can see it happen, but then when everyone leaves,
yeah.
the law offices of, of Shyster, L, and Snore come up with. I'm just saying. Just walk by.
Oh man,
drop a little something.
I hope there is a law firm with the first name with the lead name Shyster. We got speaking of law firms, we got to knock out a couple of ads. I don't think any are for law firms, but we still got to knock out some ads. We'll come back, wrap things up with a few more thoughts on who we hope falls to the Bulls at 12. Hopefully, we'll also hear from our guy Willie Gottlieb, who was at the festivities for tonight's NBA lottery. Hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. We'll get to the super chats on the back end as well. Beep you. Ray! Today's show brought to you by Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. New vehicles are in store at Ray, and this is your chance to score a great deal during the Employee Pricing Plus sales event.
What?
Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles.
Yeah.
And right now, lease the new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee for Ford XE for only $245 a month for 24 months. That is a good deal.
It's a lot of months.
That equals 2 years.
Yeah.
Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With a friendly team of brand experts, the team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. Plus, since they prioritize affordability, you know you won't overpay for the vehicle you need. And with that magical thing called the Ray's Price Promise,
It's magical.
you can shop confidently with no add-ons or no hidden fees ever. The price you see on the website, the price you see on the sticker when you go, that is the price you will pay when you check out. If anything, Ray and his team will look to find you even more savings once you head to the dealership and pick your car. Don't miss out on the Employee Pricing Plus sales event for huge savings on the Jeep Grand Cherokee. For more information, visit RayCDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963.
Daddy, what time is it?
Oh, God.
Game time hoot.
That's how I'm going to go one day.
So you go with a smile.
Game time ad read start is going to give me a fatal cardiac arrest.
If the Bulls haven't done it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams easier than ever. Curation, ladies and gentlemen, makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and anything that you want to see. Of course, they got that all-in pricing. Of course, they got that lowest price guarantee. Of course, they got that Game Time ticket coverage, which comes with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. But they got the Matt, Peck, and Big Dave fade. They got the seat views, y'all. It's the only time we online trying to find stuff because we want to know where we sitting, all right? Where can we stretch out the dogs? Where can you go get some dogs? That means hot dogs, guys. That's what I was talking about. Where can you go relieve yourself? Where's the bathroom? How far from the stage are we going to be? Are we going to be in a section where maybe some kids will be there? Needs to know that because Matt shouldn't be around in that section, all right? Where's the exit? We need to find these things, ladies and gentlemen. How far from the stage? Because we need to know, make sure Matt's hat does not reach the stage. Like that. Boom. Oh, that was perfect. Almost hit the chair. Almost hit. I'm going to give you one more because I came really close.
That would
was
have
pretty
one
awesome.
fast.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I believe in you, sir. I
At the
believe
warning
in
track.
you. I'm not going to hit you, trained professional. Take the guesswork out of buying those tickets with Game Time Picks, y'all. Download the Game Time Green account, use that, go see. CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
I said CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Lost the flip.
Download Game Time today. Because Matt Peck, what time is it?
Game time.
Who? I'm worried about Jake too. Because Jake's doing his sad thing where he's walking around the office and then goes outside and disappears and then just walks around.
I think Katie's got a picture of it.
That part, yeah, bro. Jake's
looking,
I'm concerned.
Looking like a sad nun of some kind.
Yeah.
That flag draped over his head.
That's Jake's sad time.
Katie, do we have a goat on the line?
We do have a goat.
Let's hit the goat.
We need a goat. Need a goat.
Let's raise the goat! The goat!
Joining us on that Go Talk hotline. Man, I miss that jingle.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I miss about the Bulls season being over is hearing that Go Talk jingle. Will the Go Gottlieb, our guy. Follow him for his reporting. Will_Gottlieb. Read his stuff, allchgo.com. Become a diehard to read all of it.
Well,
Put
I
a
miss
pin in
that
that.
cloth.
Because, including today, we've
Nice,
got
right?
that diehard draft guy that he and our guy Derek from Philly did a great job compiling. Goat, buddy. Bulls had an 85% chance to stay at 12th. They stay at 12th, but of course the interesting wrinkle being they equal the Mavs win total. They therefore have a coin flip to determine 12th versus 11th positioning. They lose the flip, stay at 12. Dallas from 11 jumps up to number 1 and have the right to draft.
You don't think
their
he
new
already
franchise
knows all
player,
this? He
Cooper
was
Flagg.
there.
He's just running it down.
Well, I mean,
Let him cook, Will.
what's running through your mind when you see that unfold the way it did?
The math matters. Like, percentages count towards something, as opposed to this idea that, like, if you just show up in the lottery, then you have as good a chance. I mean, look, I don't know. It's a counterfactual to say, like, if they would have lost one more game this year, they'd be picking first overall, but they would have helped their odds. And you can also say, look, the top or the worst 4 teams in the league are picking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is a chaotic crapshoot. But yeah, I mean, as you kind of think about the reality as that settles into, like, what is going to happen with this team next year, I don't know. I mean, I just don't really know how they get out of this other than getting really lucky in the lottery. And no, you don't guarantee anything by losing games, but I guess maybe they have to trade a star player for nothing in order to get a high draft pick. So yeah, I think they're going to have a lot of work to do in terms of scouting players for number 12. As you mentioned, Matt, we put together this year's draft database. I worked very hard on this with Derek Bodner from PHLY, who's done work with Draft Express before. He's really brilliant. So go check that out at our website. You can get like a bunch of different stats from like rate stats and blocks and steal rates and box plus minus and all that, but also a bunch of notes from both of us on what we think are strengths, weaknesses, player comps for some of these players. So a ton of really interesting information. And shout out to our guy, Kevin Kadick, who made it all look pretty on Notion. So really cool database, a lot of information there, and we'll continue to add to it, both for the players that we've already scouted and a bunch more. We have got like 75 on our list so far. So yeah, maybe AK should get a subscription because he's going to have a lot of work to do scouting guys up to number 12.
Oh, what surprised you about this year outside of Dallas, obviously, jumping up to number 1? Was there any other team that surprised you about where they ended up?
It was kind of like the teams that I wanted the least to jump up were in the top 4, right? I mean, it was like the Sixers, the Spurs, like that just would be unfair to have Cooper and Wemby together. Like, the NBA doesn't need that. The Sixers, like, they just had a down year. Embiid was hurt. They didn't need that kind of bailout. And I think either Ace Bailey or whoever they end up picking at 3 will be a good player, but he's not going to like set them up for the next 15 years the way Cooper would have. The Hornets, I feel like they're building things the right way. So I kind of wanted to see them or the, I don't know, the Nets, maybe, the Wizards, one of these teams that's like rebuilding properly, so to speak, to have that good luck. But yeah, I mean, it was the teams that almost didn't need the pick in order to set themselves up because they already have, a solid future. I know the Mavs, after trading Luka, like, their whole thing is in shambles, but like, they're still a very talented team that should, once Kyrie is healthy, make the playoffs. So yeah, I guess you could also argue out of this that like tanking is not the answer either. And I think that's a totally fair argument to make with the results that we saw here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will Perdue.
So I'm curious, Goat. Somebody said that we all should have rubbed your belly for luck. Obviously, maybe we should have tried that.
That's okay.
But
That's okay.
I'm okay with that not happening.
well, I told him that nobody's rubbing your belly. But
That's right.
who has it worse right now, the Phoenix Suns or the Bulls?
Probably the Bulls, honestly. I mean, the Suns like are a disaster and a mess, but like if they trade Devin Booker, they can reset. And the Bulls don't have that sort of out. I mean, they had that a couple years ago. They could have traded Zach LaVine. They could have traded DeMar DeRozan. Could have traded Caruso for picks and set themselves up. They chose not to. They wanted to go younger and more athletic, or maybe that was the last regime. This time younger with more experience to fast track this rebuild, and that's kind of how you end up stuck in the middle. So I'd much rather be a team that has to rebuild and has the assets to be able to do that versus a team that has to rebuild and doesn't. So for me, I would say, yes, the Suns situation is bad. And if they want to continue building around Devin Booker and aren't going to be able to move off of that, then maybe the Bulls are in a better spot. But I'd still rather have the premium asset than not.
Considering the direction that we think the Suns are trying to go, would you consider Devin Booker a option for trade?
In terms of them wanting to trade him?
Would you, as the Bulls, even make a phone call to ask about a trade?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bulls should. Like, we talked about this with Zion or Giannis or, some of these other disgruntled stars that maybe want to get out of town. I think that's kind of like one of the plays that they have at this point. The question is, like, do they have enough to compete with the other teams that are going to be in the market? So you look at Houston, who's not only a far better team on paper and in practice now, but they've got way more assets to be able to go out and make these deals and outbid the Bulls. The Oklahoma City Thunder, another good example. Even the Brooklyn Nets. So many of these teams that are just loaded with draft picks that can be real players whenever this next star does become available, as opposed to the Bulls, who basically just have their own picks. And I guess I find it hard to believe that AK is going to be willing to send out more picks now after just basically trading his best player in order to get them back. I just don't really see that kind of a big swing in the near future. Now, 2026, they will have a lot of cap space, maybe a free agent player, maybe a sign and trade, maybe taking on contracts for draft picks. Then you have more flexibility and optionality. But right now, I think that they're going to go into next season pretty much with the same team.
Goat, now that we know they are going to be drafting 12th next month, as you've increased your amount of time looking at these guys, building your incredible Die Hard draft guide, is there a best case scenario starting to take some sort of clear vision for you, as far as the Bulls didn't get they didn't get lottery lucky last year, but they got lucky on draft night in the sense that Modest fell into their laps at 11 and probably was a better value than falling to 11. If you're the Bulls at 12, who are you thinking right now? Man, it would be a consolation prize level win if fill in the blank player is still on the board at 12.
So there's a couple guys. I like Colin Murray-Boyles. We talked about him last week. Very defensive-oriented player, kind of in the Draymond Green mold as a shorter guy who can switch onto guards and also protect the rim at an incredibly high level. Playmaking hub as a guard, does not shoot it very well. So there's some limitations there, and you kind of need to build around him with similar kind of limitations in mind to what the Bulls are dealing with Giddey. But I think he'd be a really strong option there. I like Noah Asengwe. He is a French forward playing for a German team called Ulm. 6'9", 6'10", very athletic, very slender, gangly, but has a ton of upside. I mean, he's throwing down these like monster highlight reel dunks in transition, blocking shots, a lot of upside. I think people are going to be thinking, well, maybe he could be the next Giannis. Maybe he's also the next Alexei Pokusevsky. So there's a lot of variance there, a lot of range of outcomes, but I do think that the Bulls need to be taking swings on talent, especially at the 3 or 4 position. And so he's somebody that I could get excited about. And then just 2 more, I'll say. Number 1 is Carter Bryant from Arizona. He's a forward, very much like a 3-and-D wing. Shot 37% from deep this year. Came off the bench for an Arizona team, but he really just looks the part. And I think at the Combine here this week, he will probably measure pretty well, jump pretty high, and make a lot of threes, and that might boost his stock. I think when you look at this draft, there's a lot of high upside outcomes for guys like a Jeremiah Fears or a Trey Johnson or a Kasparis Yakachonis, and those guys could all turn out, and maybe they do, but there's probably a lot of outcomes where even their floor is not very high because they just need the ball in their hands in order to succeed, and they're not good enough to really warrant that kind of usage. Again, the same questions that we have about a Josh Giddey or a Kobe White at times. Whereas a guy like Carter Bryant or a Asengwe, maybe they have a little bit more potential to be a reliable, solid role player right away, but then maybe you can also kind of expand the scope of their skill set and start to put the ball in their hands a little bit more and see what they can do. So I like those 2 guys as kind of upside projects that I do think could fill a role right now as younger, more raw talent.
Just real quick before we let you go, we know you're busy. What was the amount of Giannis, where is he getting traded talk that was going on with all of the national NBA media people descending upon Chicago today?
It's funny. I was thinking that would be a major piece of the conversation. We talked about it for sure, but I think basically the Cooper Flagg domino needed to fall first. And now that we know that he's going to be a Dallas Maverick, I think those other conversations, whether it's Giannis or Devin Booker or any of these guys that we've been talking about here that could be on the move, I think this lottery really needed to materialize in order for some of those conversations to take shape.
At the time, Bulls Nation, as you just heard him plug it, the GOAT and Derek Bowdner co-created Die Hard Draft Guide, available now, allchgo.com, and because of that name, you can probably figure it out. It is for CHGO diehards only. So sign up now if you haven't yet. GOAT, we appreciate it, buddy. We will talk to you tomorrow.
See you guys then.
All right, that's going to do it for those of you watching on our various streaming services. If you want that bonus coverage, that OT, just head to allchgo.com. All right, let's. You want to knock out some super chats real quick, Katie? And,
super.
Final thoughts. We got the Kalen one. We got the Braggs one. Emiliano Brito with a super chat saying no lottery in the NFL, MLB, NHL. NHL does have a lottery. Now shows their lottery process. NBA rigged the league. What did Jake just throw on our set?
12.
He just threw a 12 over the 1.
That is the pick.
I told you I'm worried about. I told you, man.
Dude, he walked in. He was like, "Hold on." When I walked in, he's like, "Let me show you something. Let me show you something." We walk around this corner, and he just pointed at that Derrick Rose poster over there to me, and he was like, "Remember what happened?" And I was like, "Yeah." What are the odds of that happening again? Are they the 1.7% version of Slim?
Dude.
Shout out to our friend Kimberly, who throws a super chat saying, "Got to bring up the Rage Room outing idea after this." Dude, I forgot about the Rage Room. We need to make that happen. Just Joe saying, "This is for you, Matt." Thanks, Joe. Remember, AK wouldn't know what to do with a top 4 pick, parentheses, P will. Who do each of you want to take at 12? That's a good question. So, we just heard from GOAT saying, hey, Colin Murray Boyles, if he falls to 12, I wouldn't hate that. The product from South Carolina.
He's nice.
Are there any names that you guys are already thinking in the back of your head ahead towards draft night? This is a name I still want on the board when the Bulls are on the clock at 12.
Not yet. I would say like Colin Murray Boyles and Derek Queen are the two guys that I keep thinking about the most. But not yet. Like I haven't done the complete deep dive. Like we dipped our toes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In it a little bit. But once I do that real deep dive, then I'll have a more informative answer for everyone. But yeah, CMB and Queen definitely are on the radar. I don't know if Queen will be there. He might be gone by that time. But I think there are some really solid big men. The young man from Duke might be there.
Kamal Malawach?
Yes, sir.
I think there's an outside chance that one of those two falls to 12.
Yeah.
I still think it's most likely they're both gone by 10.
Yeah. And they fit a position of need. That's why I'm thinking of big men, because they fit the position of need that the Bulls kind of need.
Yeah. So Purdue, speaking of that, where the Bulls are right now, and knowing that they're drafting 12th with the other roster pieces they have, are you drafting for need at 12? Or are you taking the best overall player?
It depends on who's available.
If there's somebody who you think overall talent-wise has inexplicably fallen to 12 that might not fit the team's most, pressing roster construction needs, then grab that guy, but it depends on the guy.
Yes. Because I think because of how the league has changed, I know, as we've discussed here, you think they would kind of lean more towards a big guy, right?
Yeah.
But maybe for whatever reason, somebody that's on the board that is a better complete player to where we may already have a few of those guys per se, you can make a trade. You can make a pick and a trade. Because here's the other thing. You could possibly, if the guy that you really want is a later pick, you could possibly make a trade and pick up maybe a second round pick or something like that, and now start developing some assets for the future. But that's the interesting thing is, will there actually be quality left at 12? Because at the end of the day, the good thing about the Bulls is there's talent on this team. There's depth on this team. But the problem is, a lot of these guys are the same. So the question is now, how do we differentiate who these guys are, and how do we set ourselves up for success, not just in the upcoming season, but down the road?
Yeah.
How do we acquire some assets so that, you can have flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the biggest issue right now is there's just no flexibility with what the cupboard's bare, the players that we have. And I hate to say this, but we got to figure out how do we re-sign Kobe White and Josh Giddey, the biggest reason why I think Josh Giddey is signed here because there's really only one team, and that being the Brooklyn Nets, that would have any money. Correct. And I'm not sure they have any interest.
Correct.
I wouldn't if I were them.
So now, to me, if you're the Bulls, hey, Josh, nothing personal, man. This is just business, right? We're going to give you the best deal possible. You're going to get anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be the deal that you want,
Mm-hmm.
but dude, what is he, 23?
Yeah.
Around that, yeah.
You still got another contract coming. So this is what we're offering. No ifs, ands, or buts. No negotiations.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get a better deal, go get it.
You're saying that the Bulls should use some leverage they have and play a little bit of hardball with him as far as their negotiations?
Absolutely.
You're not suggesting you think that they will. Because I think no. They're going to throw a big bag of money at him.
I agree with that. Yeah.
No, I think they need to play hardball.
I agree.
I agree.
100% agree.
I would if I were them.
Yeah.
This is a restricted free agent scenario.
Yes.
Go find an offer sheet. We'll probably match it.
Yeah.
But
see what you're worth out there.
Because of the scope of who's got money to spend in free agency this summer across the NBA, Josh ain't finding an offer that will, I think, that would hypothetically come anywhere close to the figures that he's going to end up signing.
Well, he's not going to find a 4-year, $120 million deal.
No,
okay?
Nowhere.
And that's
he's going to get one here?
That's just not going to happen.
So that's the fear.
So the question is, how much hard ball do the Bulls play?
A lot if they want. A lot if they want to.
I don't think they will. And to me, that's why the answer is not, it doesn't depend on who's on the board when you're talking about should they be drafting best available or for fit, for specific need. I have such lack of faith in this current core of young players with experience going anywhere that give me best available.
But here's
8 days a week.
But here's the issue about your question is you get to 12 and there's a couple guys that are probably good fits, but they also could be projects to be.
Ooh, those are fun.
This guy's going to be a really good player.
Yeah.
But this could be a 3, 4, 5 year project.
Yeah. I talked about that too when we were discussing the picks because it doesn't seem like the Bulls are willing to do that. Go with that project. They want the 9 to 10 good guys who maybe you have to add a couple things to, and then, they can move forward. But like true projects that have like huge upside potential, I don't think the Bulls are in the market for any of that. They made the decision on the road they kind of want to go down. I mean, it's a terrible road and it's huge potholes there and stuff. We don't think you should go down that road, but they've made the decision. That's where they want to go. And if that's the decision, then you're not concerned with those huge projects. Well, like you're concerned with guys that can come in and help your team immediately. And it doesn't really matter about the position and things like that.
That's the discussion of, okay, you really need to be doing your homework.
Yeah.
Because you'll get to 12 and be like, well, the best guy on the board's a guard.
It's a project, yeah.
No. I'm talking about the guy that probably could play right now.
Is a guard.
Mm-hmm. But then you got
a guard.
Is he better than Kobe? Is he better than Io?
Mm-hmm.
Is he
Giddey? Lonzo?
Javon
Carter's option.
So we're going to pick a guy that probably is not going to play, even though he's the best available.
Yeah.
So, hello, Golden State. Would you like to make a trade?
Wishful thinking for some stupid, inexplicable reason. VJ Edgecombe falls all the way to 12. And
my God.
Yeah, he's a guard. Look. Yeah, I'm playing him ahead of all of those guys.
All of
those guys.
Look, man.
But
how about if you go behind the scenes, identify who you want and who you need, then you talk to that guy and his agent, and you pay him money under the table to become a total asshole and screw up all his interviews.
Yeah. wrapped my car around a telephone pole earlier today. I'm fine. No one else injured.
Come in doing
I look irresponsible.
Come in doing your interview with the 5th of Jack. Hey, what's up, guys? I want to come here and you're playing your team. No? Oh, I'm sorry.
Chicago people love that, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't the Punky QB do his rookie
With a beer.
interview with a beer?
With a beer. Yeah, he did.
Maybe they convinced this guy to do the Shedeur Sanders, and then they fall and bingo, we got our guy.
Katie, did you have something that you wanted to say a second ago? It looked like you were about to raise your hand.
No.
Just you probably wanted to tell people to hit the like button.
Yeah, I mean, hit the like button.
Okay, hit the like button.
Yeah.
But yeah, the projects thing, I think, is what worries you when you are talking about being at 12. Like, hey, maybe somebody falls into your lap, but maybe that player has a lot of raw talent, and a high ceiling and great upside, but raw. Like one example of a name who might be there, Noah Essengay. The French prospect who's been playing professionally in Germany for the past year, who you and Goat and I talked about last week at some point. Like, I like a lot of his raw tools, but he's a project.
Yeah.
How many more projects does this team need?
Saying, man. They got to complete the ones that they are doing.
The Patrick Williams project.
Finish your first projects and then work on others.
Did you read our buddy Callie's latest from a couple of days ago about it's sink or swim time for Pat? I was like, to me, that sounds generous. Yeah. He's at the bottom of the lake already.
Yeah. I agree. Well,
he's hanging out with Jason?
Yeah. How do you feel about the news that Michael Jordan will now be a special contributor to NBC Sports Chicago? What do you think he's going to do on that?
That's an interesting – I saw that today, and – my thing was they said a special contributor.
Yes.
Okay, they didn't say an analyst.
Yeah, special contributor.
I feel like it's something to represent NBC more so than to actually talk basketball. Meaning, as I was talking to these guys.
That's us.
And I asked Matt, basically this deal for NBC Universal is $2.3 billion a year, correct? A year, right? Not $2.3 billion, but $2.3 billion a year.
It's a lot of money.
So in order to recoup that money, you have to go out and get sponsors. So now all of a sudden you have Michael Jordan on your team. Hey, how about if we have a team member, Mr. Jordan, come to an event like Nissan or Chevy or Alfa Romeo or Rolls-Royce. If you guys will advertise with us to help us pay this $2.3 billion bill.
Sounds smart.
And then all of a sudden, Michael's doing a golf tournament. As I said, I see it as all of a sudden you're going to hear the name Ahmad Rashad and Michael are doing fireside chats.
I didn't think of that. Yes.
On behalf of NBC at a golf outing.
Yes, Will Perdue.
They can talk about MJ's non-existent gambling problem while MJ's wearing really dark shades.
And a hoodie.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah, Ahmad Rashad involved. I can see that. I can see that for sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Or maybe maybe it's a podcast.
Now knowing the results of the lottery, the
Special
MJ
contributor
coming back and along with NBA on NBC coming back, that was the happiest news of the day.
There was. It was definitely the happy neess of the day.
Yeah, but probably the best news was they reached a deal with Tesh, right?
Yeah, they are going to be using John Tesh's iconic round ball rock as part of their coverage. Yeah, see, who needs to win in the current times?
We got music.
Who needs Cooper Flagg? We've got memories, fond memories of championship basketball. For those of us who are lucky enough to be that old.
Oh, my child.
But you know what the one thing you can take with you to your grave?
This?
Memories.
Yeah, that's all we have. The Bulls are really good at selling it, but good luck with those season tickets sales. Do your job, Bulls fans. When those people send you emails and they call you up, would you like to renew your season tickets? How about no, Scott? Why? Oh, God. But see, again, it's all about perspective. How fun was that Josh Giddey half-court heave? Super fun.
It was fun.
If he didn't make it, if he missed it, we'd be talking about the Bulls having Cooper Flagg right now.
You said about several games, man.
Dave, are you okay?
Sure.
Oh, I feel good.
Sure.
I have to look at this and just know I saw this happen. And it's probably might be a while before I see this again.
Oh, it's never happening again.
Let's go with never.
Speaking of going to your grave, yeah, I'm going to my grave with 6 Bulls championships. Not
No
7.
loss. Never lost.
But before we wrap up, just like one quick thought. Like, here, you want the silver lining?
What?
You want the silver lining?
I'm scared.
Where's
Terrified. Hold on. Let me
where's
get
this
out the way.
going?
Hang on, let me get the
Hold on.
ISO cam for this
Let's get out the
one.
way.
Don't get in our
Hold
water.
on.
Move my water.
Let
All
me make
right,
sure
all right.
we got to
Okay.
center you up.
You need to get ISO
All right,
cam on
now
it for
go
the silver
ahead.
lining?
Yeah. Go
The
ahead.
silver lining, Bulls Nation, is as follows. AK did not just get bailed out by some random bouncing ping pong balls. Because if the Bulls obviously get the number 1 pick and the rights to draft Cooper Flagg, even if they jump up into the top 4, and we're talking about Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey or Edgecombe right now, this fan base is reinvigorated. They are stoked. They are frothing at the mouth, ready for training camp and just eagerly waiting through summer. That didn't happen. Before the lottery, a lot of Bulls fans were skeptical about AK's vision of how he was going to build this team back into a winner. Well, you didn't get lucky, and your plan of, well, maybe we go to the playoffs, maybe we don't, maybe our pick's not as high, whatever. It's win-win everywhere. No, it's actually lose-lose everywhere. And now, AK, good luck. If it were me running this team, and I was still inexplicably keeping this man employed, and it was me choosing my lead basketball executive, AK would already be gone by now. He's still here. Theoretically, you should have some pressure under your seat right now. Theoretically, there should be a stopwatch on AK's allotted time to figure this out, misguided as his ideas and visions may be. But there's no bailout. AK did not get a bailout today. And I think in some way for Bulls fans, that is a good thing. It's a silver lining, but it is a good thing. Figure it out, AK.
Figure it out.
They didn't deserve to get lucky.
I hear you.
AK didn't deserve it.
I hear you.
The Reinsdorfs didn't deserve it. What did they do to deserve Cooper Flagg this past year, these past several years? In my opinion, not a damn thing.
That's the silver lining, ladies and gentlemen.
You got to look at it from a certain angle.
Right? New segment brought to you by.
It is a silver lining.
Brought to you by
Hats.
Rage.
You make them, he'll throw them.
Beer. With that, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I'm excited for the combine.
Yes, all week. You're going to be there.
I'll be there.
Hanging out
I'll be
with
there with the Gottlieb. I'm excited to get to look at these guys. I'll get to look at, up close and get some questions answered for myself about some of these guys and just their talent and their skill. Get to interview them. And, yeah, I'm just really excited for that, to see what the combine is like. Be my first one. So, yeah, excited to see it.
Purdue?
I think it's just good to see you guys.
Miss you, man. Miss you.
Shout out.
Okay, so I missed 2 things about the Bulls being in season.
Okay.
I miss hearing the Goat Talk jingle, and I miss Uncle Will.
Yeah, definitely miss Uncle Will, man.
Matt looks good. You look much better without the stash. But I'd become so accustomed to seeing the stash on a daily basis.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's in season. Stash is
Now
in
you-
season, baby.
Now you're just stunned silence because
See the Burks?
the Burks are out.
Yeah.
Stash. I look 10 years younger. I look healthier. I've been sleeping more.
But I found out from a text from Katie, still can't touch her toes.
No. I'm not out there keeping my body loose and limber on the golf course all the time like you will. Also not a former professional athlete. That's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow at our normal time, 4 p.m. Central, with another live show, and throughout the entire week with the latest from what's going on in the NBA Draft Combine here in Chicago throughout the week. Again, if you haven't become a diehard yet, now is the time, because earlier today, GOAT dropped that diehard draft guide. Over 70 players.
70.
Intel, scouting, all that jazz.
I threw the link in the chat.
Katie threw the link in the chat.
I
Katie threw the
pinned
link
it.
in the chat.
It's
She's a
easy
good
to find.
producer
Katie threw the
and
link in the
smart
chat.
and
I pinned
kind.
it up at the top. You can find it real easy.
Boom, boom.
Katie threw the link in the
Thanks
chat.
for the super chats, y'all. Thanks for hitting that like button. We don't have to do a tankathon spin because it's
Oh, it's over.
it's over.
It's over, guys.
y'all.
It's over.
We were
Sorry.
so close.
We're right there.
Follow Uncle Will, 4-time NBA champ, Will _Perdue 32. Big Days Bow, BWL Sports, on Bulls _Peck. Shout out to our queen of the controls, the one and only Katie Duffy. Keep it right here, CHGO Sports YouTube channel, plus that CHGO Cubs channel.
Yes.
Because we still got CHGO Cubs postgame coming up later tonight.
Yeah,
Wait.
baby. Now,
Woo!
talking about
Shout
a
out
team
Sarah.
in first place.
There we go.
A winning team.
There's the silver lining.
Silver lining, kids.
Cubs baseball.
Yay.
We're number 12. Get to work, AK.
Love y'all.
See Rebby good.
AK, come on, bro.
Failed.
We all silly like the mayor.